Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, please drop a like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and let's get right into the update. So, we're back. I'm back to making some videos a little more consistent. Um, I'm gonna address something, guys. I've been asked a couple times why I don't sell certain stocks when I'm up, or why I don't cut my losses on certain stocks. And the main reason for why me personally I don't sell anything is because most of the stocks or the companies that I own, either in this account or another account or whatever the reasons are, I am just barely getting started. I don't know if you guys really know. I'm kind of young. I started investing when as soon as I got out of high school, 2016, 2015, 2016. When I started, 2017, when I started with just a little bit of money when I started working my first job back then. And now it's been like 5 years. Maybe the first couple years I didn't take it super seriously, didn't add until I had a couple $1,000s in 2020. And now I'm getting a little more, there's a little more money involved, but I've lost a lot of money and I've gained a lot of money in certain things. It's all a learning process, but mostly now I am investing for longer term, 10 years. I don't plan on selling anything unless any of the companies I own just completely U-turn from where I believe that they're going in the next couple of years. That's the main reason why I do not sell this one right here, this company, Neo. The only reason I don't sell this one is I believe Neo will be a dominant force in the next 10 years. And I've only been in this company for probably, I think, 2 years now. It's pretty long, but not really. Let's actually see when I started buying this. Since November of 2020. So it's about to be 3 years. So maybe I got into this company a little bit early. But I believe once Neo becomes profitable, they're projected to become profitable 2025. I think once that happens, I believe that this company will slowly start going back up. And if by 2026, by 2025, 2026, this company is still not profitable and they're not even being close to being profitable, then most likely I'll start slowly selling this off. And the way that I would do this is probably sell a little bit off at a time, because I could take a pretty big tax loss from this, 18,000. So probably sell off a little bit at a time, which is fine for me. It's fine. I can sell 100 shares at a time, take off a couple thousand and tax losses. But that's the main reason why I don't sell Neo. And the rest of them, I have not down as much. Let's actually look at total percent or total return. Yeah. So Neo is basically the only one, and Corsair. Those two are the only ones that I'm down a lot in. And the rest of these are basically not that big of positions. I did take most profits off a while ago, and I started up fresh again. So most of these companies my ownership in these shares, these companies are less than a year old, I believe, other than Neo. The rest of these I just started buying. So these positions are short-term positions, right? They're less than a year old, other than Neo. And Neo, I believe, will become dominant in China in the long term. And the rest of these babies, I believe, will do very well in the long term, and they're not that big of positions compared to like my top three positions, right? Let's look at my equity. You see, one, two, three, four. These five-ish are decent positions for me, but the rest are relatively small, like MP, IIP, Orange Charge Point. These three are, and Neo are the ones that are not profitable, and so they're a little more riskier. And I made a big mistake for putting too much money into Neo in the beginning. I was caught up in the mindset of putting as much money into like one or two stocks. That's why Shopify and Neo are the ones that, well, in the beginning, they were the companies that had, if I add up the 4,680 and the 18,000, so a little more than 22,500. I had more than $22,500 into this when once COVID was there. I believe that Neo could have double tripled, and I still do believe that it could, but it went into a big downturn. So imagine if I put that $22,600 or $700 in right now into other companies, or even into Neo at $6 or $7 a share, I would probably have 3,000 shares, right? Or a little less than 3,000 shares instead of the 500 shares I have right now. That's a big reason why I started buying PayPal the way that I did, buying one share at a time instead of buying in bulk. That's kind of the same mistake I made with Shopify. I bought a big chunk of Shopify all in one go. Let's see if I can actually see the history. Yeah, you see, look at this. All right, here, these three, April 5th, and April 8th. I bought a big chunk of Shopify all in one go, thinking that I can make big swing trades, but that's probably not the best way to do it if you're limited on funds. I think the better way to do it is you pick. I'll give you guys an example. Let's say I'm interested in buying. Let's look at some of these. I'm interested in buying. Sorry guys, I just woke up right now. Let's say I'm interested in buying. Let's just say AMD, right? I am interested in buying this one. AMD looks like it's had a little bit of a drop from 129 to right now. Let's say hypothetically my target is right now, right, 110. I start buying a position in this, and let's say, all hypothetical, right? I think AMD can be hit $200 in the next 5 years or whatever, right? So so I start buying right now. I make a plan right now how I want to do this. So right now, for my position, I don't want to have one position that I start where I have more than 20% total equity in of my portfolio. So let's say my portfolio is $30,000. So the max I'll have in one stock that I put from my portfolio is 6,000, right? Initial. If that position goes up after the fact, that's good, right? But from my own money, I will not put more than 20% of total of my investment. So if the portfolio, if that position in AMD somehow I put in slowly over time, 5,000 or 6,000, and it goes down, I could add more if I put in more money from my bank, right? So for my account grows to 40,000 and AMD is still in the same position, I could probably add a little bit more and average into the position as long as it doesn't pass the 20% equity in the portfolio. But once that position, say my hypothesis is true and AMD goes up, it doubles up, my position goes up, that's fine as long as my initial investment does not pass that 20% equity. that's just a way for me not to have a too much of a big position in the portfolio. So as long that's the way that I'm doing it now, right? Shopify is up. Shopify, I have tons of equity in it. I do not really want to sell it, so I'm just leaving it alone. I'm not adding that to that. Same thing with Neo, PayPal, Shopify. These four right here, I'm basically not adding into them at all, unless my portfolio gets so much bigger that I can start adding again. But that's why I cut that off the table. I'm not adding to these Shopify, PayPal, Neo, and Corsair right now because that's my rule. They're already past that 20% equity mark, 10% equity mark that I'm willing to add. And even though I'm down so much, and even though I would love to average down on maybe Neo or Shopify or whatever, or PayPal, I'm not gonna do that until all these other positions are up in equity, right? And if AMD does go up a lot and it hits my target, then maybe that's when I decide I'll rather sell. That's when I decide to sell. But I won't sell any stock unless I believe the stock or the company changes in a certain way that I believe that I do not want to be in that position anymore. Or if I see another company that I would like to get into more than the company that I have money in already. Those are the only reasons why I would sell. And well, yeah, that's the reasons why I would sell. And I'm a long-term investor. I'm gonna leave it alone. Wouldn't sell them too much. Buying and selling overcomplicates things, I believe. And also, I do not want to pay taxes, right, on these positions right now. Later on, maybe if I make a certain amount of money, I'll probably start selling some positions. But most of these positions, like I said, are relatively new, so I wouldn't sell these right now. But yeah, that's the reasons why I don't make profits when I'm up on big positions. Or like my brother, right? All the positions that my brother has are pretty short-term gains. He hasn't been in the market for that long. That's probably one of the reasons why we don't sell. And we're all young. Well, me and him, we're young. He's 18. I'm 24. I don't really plan on selling anything until I'm very much older. I would like to get this portfolio up into the hundreds of thousands maybe one day. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Portfolio's doing pretty well, up 55% so far this year. The average of the market's supposed to be going up 10%, so we're beating the market. I think it's not gonna be not that hard to beat the market as long as you add money to your portfolios, and whenever there's downturns, you buy. And then whenever the market decides to bounce back, you'll do pretty well. As long as you keep on averaging in on those bad days, I think you should be able to beat the market as long as you keep adding. But even if you don't add and you're not, it's pretty hard to not beat the market as long as you're getting into these good companies at decent prices. You'll do fine. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll try to keep posting updates a couple times a week. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.